to the way you love me.
Hi guys, and welcome to the first unofficial Becoming She podcast. It is so amazing that we are here right now. I can't believe it. You know when life just kind of happens and it all just works together? But I'm super excited because first on the show, we have none other than, drumroll please, Halima.
Yes,
Hey, girl.
ma'am. Hi, Mama.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to share myself, today with you, and I guess everyone else.
That
Also,
part.
I want to showcase what TPC, also is. Standing here, a year from launch, there's just so much that has happened, so much change. Like I'm different, I feel different.
Wow.
And so yeah, let's just get into
Okay.
it.
So I'm gonna hold you off a little bit because I know you're still passionate about your baby, but I would love for the audience to get to know who you are. So kind of give me your name, a little bit about you, the hats you wear. I've followed you for such a long time, and I have a personal relationship with you, so I know you. But do they know you?
I don't think so.
Okay, so go ahead.
Well, my name is Halima. People call me Captain. You could call me Captain, I guess, but really it's Halima. I am the founder of the Planning Concierge, TPC. If you don't know what TPC is, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you live under a rock. You definitely live under a rock.
Like literally, TPC is the Planning Concierge, and TPC is a production company. It also doubles as an event agency. We help with event planning, but specifically ideation, which is a rare service like in the events industry.
Wow.
Kind of helping people conceptualize things before the execution part. Because think of when you go to like if you have like an event coming up, you go to an event planner and you're like, oh, I have this event. They're just gonna ask you like, okay, so what kind of party is it? What they're not gonna necessarily help you come up with like something that's personalized to you.
Wow.
Like something unique, something
Yeah,
different.
you kind of have to be the one to bring what you want to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's what TPC is about. TPC is it's really just like the first of its kind, really. So not to I guess keep going on, apart from obviously being like the founder of TPC. As you know, TPC is a production company, so I am a creator.
Wow.
I'm a producer. I'm also creative, and I'm an event planner as well, and also a tech babe.
Tech babe, period. I love that. You are a woman with so many hats on, and I think you wear it so beautifully. So I'm super excited that, we have this opportunity to talk more. And obviously you being my first guest with Becoming She, it's always been a platform where I want to celebrate women and just the story of becoming. So, all of us are on a journey and we're not where we want to be, but the beauty is actually focusing on the journey of life where you're at. And I know you talked earlier about just 1 year of like entering the Planning Concierge and host and like pretty much having that as your, I guess, your love child. You know what I'm saying?
My
Like
baby.
something that your baby, something you're very passionate about. And even when you speak, I can feel that, I can hear that. And so I'm very excited to delve deeper into it. But still more on you first, because when we start talking about that, I know we're going to go down.
Oh yeah, well,
and the becoming the story is going to be amazing. Okay,
Yeah.
so just off the bat, what was your morning like this morning? What did you do this morning?
What did I do this morning? So obviously woke up, thank you God.
Amen.
Prayed. I prayed because I was a little just not anxious necessarily, but I'm a perfectionist, and I really want things to go very well. So prayed over today. I tried to get breakfast, but unfortunately I didn't.
Yeah. It's not always a good idea, breakfast, when you're a little nervous.
I did my affirmations, and then I did my makeup pretty much, got ready. But before, I was getting ready like to come, I did have like a team meeting with my team this morning just to make sure like, everything is good because, we have campaign week coming. So we have a lot coming, if that makes sense. And so just making sure everything, and we actually do have an event right now going on. So yeah, I had to check in, as well, with everyone, like make sure everything is good to go. And yeah, that pretty much
It was kind of like your morning.
was kind of like my morning. It's usually very dynamic in that sense. Like, I don't know what the day brings. I could be going to Austin today. I could be like driving, to go check out like a location for maybe a festival I'm planning or something. It could, like, I'm not in control of my days, if that makes sense. I just kind of take them
as they come. But I mean, as much as you take them as they come, you mentioned something about doing affirmations, and it almost seems like you already have like a plan for your day before the day actually starts. Of course, life happens and we'll go with the flow. So I wonder, is it something that you've always known that like planning was something that you've incorporated throughout your life, or was there like a turning point where it's like, okay, life is happening in such dynamic ways, I need to kind of get a hang of this? Because you kind of started a company about like planning and helping others plan. So I'd imagine that's something that you're very good at.
Yeah. So this is actually a very interesting question, because I do like planning, right? But I've never, prior to TPC, I'd never done it like, I guess, as a hobby, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, kind of TPC came to life, or, people know me as like, like the crazy event person, in terms of like every birthday I do or any event I do, anything that Halimah Shitu is doing, if that makes sense, wow. People know like to expect something different, people know to expect that uniqueness. And that's something, and I think that just goes back to like my core, who I am as a person. I think that in a lot of ways, like I am different. I like to be different, and so anything I do, I like it to be different as well. And so I'm not necessarily like I wasn't necessarily like a planner, like for my friends or anything.
Okay.
But, that passion for, being different, for being extra, for giving a production, in a world where, there's so many trends and people do the same thing.
Wow.
That's kind of how I guess I found, myself in
the space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, for example, to, I guess, more specifically how, TPC started, because, you asked me like, oh, have I been doing planning? So when I was going to turn 25, which was last year, a lot of my friends were like, messaging me like a year prior to, last year, essentially like 2023,
Okay.
were messaging me, and it's like, I remember one of my friends, like Ataya, texted me, it's like, guy, I'm already saving for your 25th, so, we know you're gonna do something crazy, stuff like that. And so a lot of my friends were like, reaching out, messaging me like, we're ready for your 25th, stuff like that. And then I think for the first time ever, I actually felt like the pressure, if that makes sense. I was like, okay, I guess everyone, how 25 is like, I guess like, like a big,
trust me, I know.
So like everyone, I guess 25 should be like, I guess your best or whatever. And so like, people were already like expecting. And for me, I was like, this is interesting, because I do like to do something different every year. I do like to up the bar, every year. But I kind of start feeling like the pressure a little bit, in sense of, okay, so I've done hall parties. I've done a hall party, before. I've done traveling. I've done, birthday dinner. Like, I've done everything you can think of in terms of the way people celebrate, their birthdays. Like, I literally did like by like my 21st birthday was a hall party that was like 2021. This was like before like hall parties were even a thing, and so someone who has like done everything is just kind of like, okay, what do you do for 25? And I feel like that really is like kind of how it all started, for me, for like TPC. I actually was kind of lazy. I was like, I'm gonna do something different, and I want something crazy, but I was like, I don't really feel like, thinking about it myself in terms of like what I want to do. I just felt like, why should I have to do that? And so I was trying to find like an ideation service, if any.
Oh, wow.
To like kind of help me conceptualize
what
I wanted to do, help me like, really come up with an idea and like something that's really me but different. And there's no service like that out there. Like, I was reaching out, even like event planners, quote unquote, that, had like, oh yeah, like, we'll help you like, come up with like themes and stuff like that, reached out, and everyone was looking at me crazy. I was like, I knew
you were doing something that was out of the norm, something new, something different.
I knew I want some, and so that really is kind of how it started. And so just based on that, I was like, so there's really no like, service out there that like ideates or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, that may be something I want to think about, because I know that like my brain,
you were tapping into your creative side.
Yeah, my brain is constantly thinking, is constantly, developing or like thinking of different, new ideas and different new ways to like, celebrate, to be different, to stay ahead of like trends. And so I essentially just filled up that gap, and we're here today.
Wow. That's so beautiful. I love that. And I love one thing that you said mostly was, this started from celebrating yourself. Like, I love that so much, because I feel like a lot of people celebrate other people more than they celebrate themselves. But when you tap into that place that's innately in you, it's easy for you to pour out from an already overflowing cup. Versus if you're trying to start a company and you like, I don't even like celebrate myself, people are coming to me for this idea. I just don't feel like it's as authentic as how, the journey that you went.
Definitely.
And you mentioned your friend Ataya and talking about, so is that something, I know you talked about your birthdays. Did you plan your other friends' birthdays as well? Or you kind of give them some ideas sometimes?
No. So,
okay.
That's kind of what I was saying. Like prior to last year, it wasn't necessarily like I was a planner or anything, but I haven't planned anyone's like birthdays or anything, because I never even thought of myself, as that. It was just more so like whenever it came to me, my events is like, okay, I'm gonna be, do something different.
Everyone would just see your creativity when it comes to your celebration.
I feel like and I feel like the launch last year, like the Love Island launch, like I feel like that was really like what solidified it. I remember like telling like my friends, mind you, my birthday is June. I think like we're talking about last year, so this is June 2024. I think from like August 2023, because my friends already like had messaged me or whatever. So by I think like September, October, I already knew what I wanted to do. There wasn't an ideation service or anything, so I thought about it. I was like, okay, let me think of different ways. And so I came up with like the Love Island idea. And I remember like when I first said it out loud, I was like, I want to do like Love Island for my birthday. And everyone was just looking at me like, okay, girl.
Never heard of it.
Like
it was new, it was different.
Everyone's looking at me like, sure, God, whatever that is, type thing. And it didn't necessarily matter as well then too that they didn't understand, like what it was.
Because nobody had done it before, right?
Right. And that's the thing too. Like, I'm like literally like, TPC, we're trying to, I guess, get people to see, what ideation is, introduce like that service. So that's something that's, still ongoing. And like I said, like people don't know even, what ideation is, out of like this world productions or anything like that. And so when I did like the Love Island like launch, and kind of like the way like Eve came out and everything, I feel like that's kind of when people were like, oh, okay, I guess you do have something, you know, because like as a producer, it's hard to get people like, and that was really the reason why I also did like the Love Island launch, because it's like I wanted, ideation is like, selling myself to people in the sense of like, oh, I'm creative. Oh, I can help you, ideate things. I can help you do all these things. But it's like, how can they trust that, without actually...
Proof of concept.
Right,
so that
like
was your
how,
proof of concept.
right. And so I felt like that, launch last year was really just like important for me in the sense of like, I'm making my mark as a producer.
Wow.
I'm making my mark as a creator. I'm making my mark as... the first of its kind in terms of like the innovation, mixed with the creativity that TPC stands for. And just introducing productions, really. I feel very proud.
No, I love it. You're speaking about yourself, and I love it. A lot of times when people start things, they start on like small scales. She said no.
No, like
I'm coming with a bang.
Like
I find it so amazing that you said prior to like last year, you were doing it for yourself, but not on this. And then the first thing you decide to do is just like something like gigantic and amazing. I heard so many. I was able to come. I had other schedule clashes, but I regret the decision.
For context, I sent everyone like invites out a year.
I remember a year,
and everyone was like, "Oh, girl, I don't know my schedule. Like,
yes.
it's far.
So,
like, I don't know.
by the time that it came around, I wasn't able to go, but I heard so many amazing reviews. I did not even hear one bad review. It was a great event. So really proud of you for obviously coming out of your comfort zone, and your journey to becoming just feels like you knew exactly. It's like, because you were already on your own personal journey and you knew exactly what you wanted. Like, doing that didn't seem as scary to do such a big event, like as your first,
It was scary.
Was it really?
No, it was. I feel like sometimes I do a good job
masking
of
it,
like masking stuff, or coming off like composed, or coming off like, oh, like everything is like together. But like I get scared, just like everyone. I get overwhelmed, with nerves. The Love Island birthday that I did, like how we launched, it was something that I had planned out for over a year.
Right.
I'm a perfectionist, and so I also try to see every single thing that could have gone wrong as well coming, and try to like get ahead of that.
Being a whole solution architect.
I don't play, like when I say things like it takes me a year to plan something, I know what that means, because I don't know how to do anything small. Like, to know me is to know how extra I am. To know me is to know how different I am, and so to know me is also to know how bodacious I am. It's like,
that's why they call you captain. That's why they call you captain.
If like anything I do,
the leader in the pack. I love that.
Anything I do, like I really put everything into. I think it also goes back to I'm a very, very passionate person.
No, I was literally about to say that. I said, I can feel the passion.
I'm a very passionate
And every time we've
person.
spoken about this, I feel like it gets better. It gets better. There's just so much passion about talking about it. And then you even talked about your Love Island birthday. And, is that your favorite event, or is there another event that you've planned that was your favorite?
My favorite actually is I planned my friend's engagement earlier this year. My friend Bidemi, yes. She's getting married in December, and her
congrats to Bidemi.
her fiance had literally hit me up. I remember when he messaged me, I was literally screaming. It was so funny because he's like, Halima, I was like, behave, this is a client in front of you, but I was also like, oh my god, this is my sister, right? The personal relationship. It was like, we've waited for this, we've spoken for this. We've spoken about it, since 2015.
Wow.
And so to be the
full
person,
circle,
right?
Oh
to
my
be
God,
the
that's
person,
beautiful.
Who actually put everything together, for her. And putting everything together, but also reaching out to her family, her friends, being the messenger of that joy, as well. I feel like it was just something. It was like, this is why I have I'm doing TPC. This is what makes me happy. This is what makes me feel satisfied. And just seeing it, seeing just that happy celebration, that moment, it's like, yeah, I did that, I put that together. So I think that was my favorite event
so
this
far
year.
that you've planned.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so beautiful. And I think it's like a reminder in that moment, because if you hadn't taken the step of faith to start TBC last year, I mean, you might have just been one of the friends that planned it, but now you getting the sole responsibility because they've seen what you could do, and then also you having the personal relationship. I think that's where everything just ties together, because you have a strong relationship with this person, but they also see your talent. They're not doing it because you're their friend.
We're friends,
It's because genuinely you're capable. So I think that's so amazing that you take a step of faith and everything literally just falls into place. And 10 years later, being able to plan it, 9-10 years, I think that's amazing.
I know. It was such a full circle moment.
I love that. And the sentimental part that
oh my God. Yeah, that was really what it was for me. It was obviously TP is a production company, but also the emotional celebrational aspect of it,
the joy you bring to people's faces,
seeing the reactions, and
100%.
Just being a part of that special moment. Truly, I feel it's,
and I feel it makes a mark, right? So for every person that you plan an event for, it's going to be something that's solidified in their memory. It's a core memory, right? Yeah. Anytime, any major celebration, I know for me, for you as well, you talk about certain birthdays, it's a core memory. And so being having the opportunity to be a part of that, I just think is something greater than who you are. So that's amazing.
It really was.
So good.
That's definitely my favorite, my favorite event so far. I definitely think that my, apart from that, the best project, so I guess my favorite project other than that has been obviously our campaign for this year. I know I've been like, I've been screaming like campaign, online, and everyone's probably looking at me like, what the hell is this lady talking about? But
I don't even know y'all. But
it's like, what the hell is this lady talking about? But it's, I don't know if any, I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like this is something that like I'm so proud of. This campaign. I'm truly so proud of myself, and the people that I also handpicked, to be a part of the project. Zani, which is my creative director for the project, she's so great. Like, I rarely meet people that I feel like are crazier than me in terms of like ideas, that creativity, that immersive,
have that passion that passion, fire, to bring something out.
And one of my biggest things actually when I started this company, which is a production company and isn't something that's necessarily like usual, in within like this space. And so I think starting literally like when I started last year, I told God, I said, my dreams are so big, my vision is so big, but I also know that this is such like a niche that is also like, I need the right people around me to be able to actually like bring this company to fruition, to actually like get it up and running, and not just up and running, but actually like doing the value and like doing the everything that was intended to do. And so I feel like I'm just proud. I really begged God for the right people to put in my part and like in my path, and he really did. From like everyone on the production team to the cast to I'm
excited just hearing it, honestly.
Like, it's like it's out of this world. So I'm so excited. Like I was saying, I've been screaming campaign since, but really it is. So I was just talking about like production, how to piece a production company, and to essentially showcase that production aspects, the innovation, the creativity, the talent. I decided that every year, we're going to be doing like one annual event, that's for, heavily production. And so we're going to essentially start, we did our launch last year, which was like the Love Island launch, but we're not stopping.
I love that.
Not stopping,
I love that.
And so we did that last year. This year we're doing a live game show. And we're doing a live game show.
These
It
ideas
is going to be on August 9th.
Wow.
My team and I, obviously, we've been planning and everything. And so there's going to be 20 participants. And there's also going to be $5,000 cash prize.
Girl, what? How do I register for this live show?
So
I need to be there. I need the $5,000.
So, like, kind of think like Squid Games, but it's like live.
Okay.
Like there's participant tickets, there's spectator tickets. It's live.
Wow.
And there's gonna also be obviously VIP spectator tickets where like the VIP guests are going to be the closest, obviously, to the players. They're gonna be able to bet in terms of like who's gonna win and stuff like that. They're gonna be able
thought it all through.
Participate, girl. Like when you think production, like Halima, she too. Like I don't. When it comes to production, it comes so easy to me. Like so easy. I feel like the hardest part really is not like the idea, is really the execution of like the ideas that like
and then you
I
do
have.
a phenomenal job at that too. So.
Yeah.
Like you were literally made for this. It's so interesting because I've talked to so many people and I always like to have conversations and like pick people's brain. And I kid you not, and I don't say this like just to like flatter you. I have never seen someone so passionate, especially in our generation, for doing something like that they actually care about. A lot of people do things, for the money or because I want to get to XYZ place. But from everything you're saying, you're like, this is who I am. And I want people to, one, know that, but also I want to be a part of people's journey to where that I'm being able to provide this value inside of me for them as well. Like you're talking and I'm just sitting here amazed. Like because listen, the journey of becoming is not easy.
No,
I know
it's
I'm
not.
someone that like I like to start things that the momentum always like dies down. But for you, it's like full throttle ahead. We're doing better. We're doing bigger. You've built a team, and it speaks so much to like just all the characters, like all the parts of who you are as a person, like being able to head a team. Like they don't call you captain for no reason, girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, like
you're the leader. You have vision. Your vision is very clear. You know exactly where you want to take this, and it's so amazing. Like 1 year later, like
yeah, I know.
you
Like
know,
I literally can't believe it. Like I feel like there's like a deep joy that I genuinely feel every single day that I wake up
wow.
in terms of like TPC and like what I'm building, you know. I'm so excited for it because it's like I found, you know, I feel like I found myself, you know, through TPC. And so just being here and, you know, having something that's so unique, so different, the potential of it like is insane. And so I know, you know, my vision, I know my dreams, and I don't plan on stopping. Like, I mean,
Wow.
to know me, to know how ambitious I am, you know, like what's that thing that Kayubi said, knock me down, knock me down 9 times when I get up 10, like really. And that really is like TPC was built like from so much pain. You know, I was at the lowest point you could ever think of. Like I was at such a low point that I was like, what do you have to lose? You know? And it was like I needed something that grounded me every day, something that gave me a reason, you know, to wake up every day. And it's not like, you know, I didn't want to be, you know, here or anything.
Yeah,
like it's just more so like I wake up every day and it's just kind of like
not living life purposefully, right? And then you finally like finding your purpose, and
and
makes it that much
I feel like
better.
I've had a lot of empty days, you know, and I've prayed to God on a lot of those empty days, like let me find my purpose, let me find, you know, what is my own, you know, I want to have my own table, you know, I want to build my own shit, you
Period.
know. And these are all prayers that like I pray to God too, and genuinely like he listened. And so TPC came from, you know, so much pain, and
it's literally an answered
and
prayer.
trust is literally like an answered prayer. Like like everything that I cried and begged to God for last year, I have today. Every single
That
thing.
is so amazing.
And the best thing I think out of it more than anything is that I'm building TPC, right? And obviously that comes with like its ups and downs, because no day is the same. I mean, anyone that's in business will tell you like first year, I mean, I don't know whether second year gets better, but first year of business is hard. It's really hard. You have to trust, you know, yourself a lot. Yeah, but I feel like you know, TPC itself, though, the birth of it and the way like it all came together, I feel like everything just happened the way
it was supposed to be. Wow. I mean, I feel like you can keep talking on and on
no, I can. Like,
about this.
I can. I really can.
Wow. So 1 year in the game. So I gotta kind of bring it all in, and I really want you to talk a little bit more about your live show in a second. But what does TPC at 1 mean to you? Because you've talked about so much of the process prior. You mentioned briefly about the first year in business. Now that you're actually getting to starting your year 2, what does that mean to you? Like that first year?
Well, we're still in year 1. We don't officially get to year 2 till June, like towards the end of June.
Your birthday.
Yeah. Or, you know, my birthday is national holiday. But
yeah.
What TPC at 1 means to me, and that's a very, very passionate question.
For a passionate person. I'm just going on your role here, girl.
Think through my answer carefully. What TPC means to me is resilience.
Wow.
Growth.
Wow.
Pain turned into purpose. It also means, I guess, my individuality, because I feel like that's, you know, the start of TPC was the start of my individuality.
Wow.
And so TPC to me is proof, you know, of if you truly want something and you truly put in the work, even on the days that it seems like nothing is happening, I promise, like, someone is seeing you. Your magic is shining, out there in some way. And I feel like more than anything, TPC at 1 is just wow, like I'm a strong ass person.
Yeah.
Truly, because like if you know like the year I had, it would be crazy to anybody that I was able to birth something like this.
Wow.
And so it's also one of those things where it's like I pop my shit a lot. And there's a reason why I pop my shit a lot. Because it's like,
okay, girl.
No, deadass. It's like,
yeah, only you understand the journey you have been through.
The journey that got
100%
to get
your
here.
journey of becoming. You can like, only you knows what it takes.
No, literally.
Yeah.
Like last year, I think I spent like almost 80% of last year crying. Like last year was like the worst year of my life.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Literally, so it's like being, like here today is just TPC is just, I don't know how to explain it. It just shows,
who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
truly,
everything, resilience, growth, individuality, and pain to purpose. That's exactly who you are as a person. And I literally see it so connected. Like, because it's coming from inside of you. This is not a concept that came from anybody else but you. So that is so amazing.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, I think that is a lot on TPC. I love that for you. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
You're doing the live show. You've kind of given us some information about that.
So the live show is August 9th.
Okay.
This campaign that, I keep going on and on about, that is dropping Friday, May 16th, that campaign is the trailer for the live show, if that makes sense. So essentially, it's also a whole different production on its own.
Wow.
I mean, trust me.
It wouldn't be easy again now.
Is it really Halima? It's not crazy.
Right.
And so that, that's the trailer, like a teaser, kind of showing what's to come. It's so crazy because I wanted to do like that teaser to kind of, so that people have an idea the level of production to expect. I also decided to do a live show because I'm cool like that, like in terms of production, like like
I'm doing it on like we're not cutting anything, we're not taking anything away. You guys gonna see it fresh, raw.
Like, come see it live.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm gonna show, like this, like I don't know how to explain it. Like I've never felt so aligned, in my destiny.
Alignment is super important.
No, like I've literally.
Yeah.
And something else too I notice that also validates me sometimes in some way is, no matter how hard it is, no matter what the situation is, there is always a way for me to move forward, to make progress, on this company, if that makes sense. There's been so many times, because I've been planning this live show about for a year.
As soon as you got done with Love Island, you said, okay, let's go.
Like literally launch, like once we were done launch in June and everything, I took, obviously I took a little second. But by July, it was like, okay, I need to build, start building, TPC, all of that. But I still always had at the back of my head that like, every year you're gonna do something, and so I think by like October last year, I was then like, okay, what are we gonna do? I wish I could show you my phone. I have a whole list of ideas of things I haven't even done. Or haven't even touched.
Oh my god.
And so
oh my god.
As I was just going through the list, and I was like, which one, which one?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Right. And I was like, and so I decided to do like the live show. It is kind of Squid Games inspired, but it's not. It's Squid Games inspired in the sense of, I guess, like the concept, like the grand cash prize,
that's how you conceptualized it.
All of that. And if you know, Squid Games also came from, it's like rooted in like their traditional games, like their traditional games. And so essentially, when I was like thinking through like game show, I was like, okay, I'm African, we're Nigerians.
Shout out to Nigerians.
How do we personalize it, for us?
Yeah, to bring our flavor out.
And so it's a live, game show, but it's personalized. All the games that are on there, like I promise you guys like you probably like don't even remember, if that makes sense, you know. But that's what it is, you know, giving people an experience, you know, something out of this world, you know. Like I think my thing, my symbol is, you think about anything out of this world, you think of TPC.
Wow.
Because that's
who you guys are.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so we're a production company, and we're not yet 1 year, and there's just
so much opportunity and potential.
Yeah. And so for the live show, the trailer is going to be out Friday, May 16th. We have, you know, like casted, you know, players, guards, you know, all of that on there. It's it's a whole production. I haven't watched it yet because we're still working on it, and I kind of want them to finish everything before I watch it. However, it is about, I think, 80% done. Yeah, done. Oh, wow. And so I think I'm gonna have him like give you the laptop so you can watch. Like,
I get to watch it?
Yeah, so you can watch like the trailer.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I want you to watch it on a camera, because I want to see, like, I want to see your reaction.
I'm gonna be a top audience, y'all.
You're gonna have to use AirPods though, because I don't want to
hear it.
Yeah,
that's exciting. Thank you. Oh wow, just the first.
She said just the first. Have you put that?
I did. No, just, oh my God. Wow. Okay.
I can't wait to watch it.
I think I hit this. Wow. Everything. The video quality, everything intentional. I love it. Period. Oh my gosh. Oh wait, there's one more. I thought it was over.
Is that like the bonus part?
Cash dollars.
Period.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh. I've never seen something like this before. I kid you not. You guys, I can't wait for you to see it. It was so good. Really? Like, you planned what?
It's so crazy too, because there's two versions. There's like the one you just watched is the long version. That's 4 minutes. That's gonna go up on our YouTube. And then we're gonna post like the shorter one, you know, for Instagram on Friday. And so our YouTube actually is where we're gonna start posting like a lot of, you know, behind the scenes leading up to the live show. Yeah. You know, everything. Yeah. So
no, I'm excited. I'm super excited for you, girl. I'm so excited. That was so beautiful.
You probably didn't expect it.
No, I did not expect it, and I see where the passion comes from. You poured out your heart and soul into that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've never seen this being done in this. I'm being straightforward. Like, it's just not something I see often.
And that's the thing. Like, I know that like I'm in a league or lane of my own.
You are.
When I say
nobody's
stuff,
doing like Captain, please.
When I say like, actually, I was just thinking about this like last week. I actually I think one of my goals is to get people to stop calling me an event planner, because I feel like I'm so much more than that. If anything, I'm a producer.
So you want them to call you producer?
I am a producer.
Period.
Like, that's why I don't own a production company for, you know, nothing. You know, so I'm a creator. I'm a creative. You know, I truly wear so many hats, you know. Is
that why they call you Captain?
Mm-hmm. That's why they call me Captain.
Why do they call you Captain?
That's why they call me Captain. They actually call me Captain because a very, very long time ago, it's a whole different life ago.
Oh my God.
I was very much I always used to try to get people like drunk, you know, at like events or anything. Like, I was always that person. I was literally always that person. Like, you know, I remember that was like when Megan Thee Stallion had like just come on, like she was doing like drive the boat. And so like, you know, it was always like pouring shots like down people's like throats or whatever. Yeah. And so I was always doing that, you know, at events. Like, you know, people would even be like, Halima, I'm scared to come, you know, to come because I know you're gonna put, you know, alcohol down my throat and stuff like that. So literally that's where the name came from.
This was really unexpected.
It just stopped. I was like, sure.
Oh, because you're the captain of the boat. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Look at me thinking that they're calling captain because she's a leader. She does everything so great. No. Oh, that's cute.
And so captain actually came from partying. Because I do act, like I said, I wear many hats. Party queen is also one of the
No judgment here. Wear all the many hats.
But yeah,
you're multifaceted. You know, anything you need, she can do it. She's capable.
And you know what it is? I feel like I remember I'd seen like a tweet one time, something along the lines of like, don't be a hermit. The world needs to see you. The world needs to see your talents.
Wow.
The world needs to. And I remember thinking about that, and I was like, because something else too is that I feel like I don't really put myself out there. You know, I don't really care to, if that makes sense. You know, I'm very okay. But I do feel like these talents that God has given me, it can't be hidden.
Yeah.
No matter how hard I tried. And so this is hopefully, this is something that we're able to do more than once a year, as we grow.
So that's what's next.
That's the plan, to continue. Right now we're just living it at, our annual events, so this year we're doing like the live show, the campaign is dropping.
Cover for year 2 at this point,
Do you know what's so crazy? I already know what I want to do next year.
Oh wow!
So
of course. But it wouldn't be you if you didn't. It would not know
be. Next year. But yeah, so really, like, I guess, like, for people who don't understand, when you think of when you think of Halima Shitu, I guess what I want you to think about is think through like all this reality, like, TV that we have, all the different things. I want to be that for us, like I want to be the person who gets us, to that level of mainstream in terms of, because I am a producer, and it's like, what is the point, of producing and doing all of that when, like, representation is also something is very important, and so that's also kind of why, with like the Squid games or whatever, like the live show, I personalized it, for us, Africans, like it's unique, it's not something that
celebrates our culture,
right? Celebrates our culture, and so like I said,
in a unique
way, right? And so like I feel like I just know I'm a producer. I know that TV is the end goal. I know that I know, like, yeah. So yeah.
Okay, well, that's amazing. I love everything you're doing. I love everything you stand for. I love how passionate everything you've given us. Even this campaign video, literally the cat is out of the bag. Yeah. I cannot wait for everybody to see it. I think people are going to be so excited. This is going to be beyond your dreams. I don't think anyone understands, like, when I come online and I'm popping like my shit and saying stuff, it's not even in a cocky way. Like, I'm dead ass, like, it's not even a cocky way. She said, I know who I am, but I know what I got.
I genuinely, I've never met anyone as insane as me in terms of ideation. No, in a good way, yeah. In terms of ideation, production.
I love that.
Yeah, so
okay, so I mean, I have 2 more questions for you, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, last will be about TPC, and last will be, and the very, very last will be about you. Okay. For TPC, beyond the live show, I know you said you want, eventually it's going to be TV and production. And what do you have to say to someone else that is currently walking that path or wanting to do something bigger than them? What is one advice that you have for them to get to that place that they want to go?
First of all, you need to be really sure in what you're doing and why you're doing it. I know people always say stuff like you need to remember your why, all of that. Yes, you do. But more importantly, because you are going to need that why, more importantly, what I want to tell anyone, keep going. Okay. I know, like, it may not seem like anything is happening, but I think people underestimate how much making progress towards something every day, no matter how little, how, like, it all adds up. Like, you just keep going, and one day you're just gonna look back and it's like, oh wow, we've made progress. As a creative, it's hard. Starting like TPC is so hard because there's nothing like that out there. So it's hard to get people to see your vision. It's hard to get people to understand, and when you're starting a company, you don't need people, to scale it, to excel. And so it can be hard sometimes getting them to see your vision.
Hear and understand your
and to
vision.
understand that. And I just want to tell, I guess whoever is going, that's okay. Don't be desperate. I would say, no,
Heavy
not,
on that.
no, literally.
No, I feel you.
Don't be desperate.
Don't compromise.
Don't compromise.
Right.
I remember someone told me, like, your business is your art. It's essentially how you are expressing yourself. It is like, you're a creator in that sense. Wow. And so don't settle for less. I know it's hard. It may be harder to wait sometimes, but truly, like, I feel like do not settle. Because I feel like that's my biggest thing. Even on the days that it gets hard, even on the days that, I cry going. And I'm on the days I'm like, oh my God, why am I doing this? Or, it's just keep going.
Just keep going.
And the very last thing I want to say, because I learned this from Robert Greene, you need to be able to outlast your competitors. And the only way you can outlast them is genuinely by enjoying what you do. That's the way.
Wow.
If you enjoy it, genuinely, even through the bad times, through the good times.
The journey. Enjoy the journey.
You keep going. So, yeah.
Amazing. Oh my God, I've been so inspired by this conversation. I kid you not, because even with my brand becoming She Network, I had a little, but when speaking to you now, having done my event before, I'm definitely very motivated. And I think a lot of people are going to see the passion that I see. A lot of people are going to hear the words you said. They're going to keep going. Yeah. They're going to make sure that they outlast. And I just think you had some very, very powerful things to say today. So I'm super excited that you came on here. But, we'll end it out with a little game, kind of break it all down, because you kind of told me some things you do for fun. You mentioned that you a party animal. Not
anymore, please.
Okay, formally, and you like to play games. So I do have a game for you.
Okay.
So I said it was one question, but really it's like a couple questions one. But
let's get it.
Okay, so we're gonna play this or that edition, and we'll kind of start off with kind of what you are used to, kind of more relatable to like the games that you play, and then I have my own little spicy side after. Well, it's not that spicy. It's just you don't know. You just don't know what to expect with that one. Okay. All right. So team player or competitive player?
Competitive.
Jackpot or donkey?
Jackpot.
Girl, you got to answer right as soon as it. Okay. Blackjack or roulette?
Roulette.
Big Brother or Gilder Ultimate Search?
Big Brother.
Tinko or 1010?
Tinko.
Okay. Jollof rice or fried rice?
This is hard. I think I'm a fried rice person.
Okay. We don't get to think. Just answer straight up. What is coming to your heart?
Fried rice.
Braids or wigs?
Braids.
Heels or slippers?
Slippers. Yeah. Sorry. I can't see the inch. Because I'm short, but I can't.
She said, I don't want to do that. Okay.
I wear slippers to the club. Don't get me wrong.
Soft life or hustle hard?
Hustle hard. What?
Period. Okay. Period.
Hustle hard.
I think I would
have that soft life.
I wouldn't be able to answer that. I'll pick both of them. I'll be right in the middle. But
literally, because what's the name? You also have to have delayed gratification.
No, 100%. Look at that. Even in the game, she's giving us advice. She's full of it.
And yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Wahala be like Oichuk.
It'd be like,
wahala be like bicycle. Period. Okay, and then Afrobeats or high life?
Afrobeats.
Davido or Burna Boy?
Burna Boy. I think.
Tiwa Savage or Ira Star?
Ira. I love both of them though.
Yeah, but I'm Ira all day too.
Yeah, I like Ira.
Well, that is all I have for you, girl.
Thank you.
Did good. It was so great having you on here.
Thank you so much, and
thank you for being my first guest on
course.
This hopeful podcast that we're building out, because she's inspired me to actually continue on the journey. So I love celebrating your journey of becoming, and I'm super excited to see what TPC,
thank you,
Captain Shido, all your names, your party, and all the people that you are, seeing it come to fruition in the next coming years.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me. The Becoming She network, I really like what it stands for. Yeah. Celebrating women, bringing people together, because it's hard out here, girl. Truly, and really having that community. Like you said,
wow.
You don't I think you're underestimating, what that is doing or what that has even done, because you don't know, who it has impacted or anything like that. But like I said, definitely keep going.
Thank you.
Very happy to be here, and I'm very proud of you as well, because I know you said like you I know you said like you like to start and stop things, but you've also accomplished so much. And I think that because of like also what you've accomplished, people that don't know you may not realize how sweet and how genuine you are.
Wow.
Which is hard to find, truly, because even when I met you, I didn't think that you were gonna be as sweet. I said like genuinely you're gonna be as sweet or anything, but you're
in the middle,
you're the sweetest person, and you made me feel comfortable as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Excited for you, sister girl.
But yeah,
that's a wrap.